What's up, everybody? I just want to give a quick recap of day 10. It went awesome. Very productive day. Checked everything off. Somehow my app for 75 Hard got ahead about 2 days or so. I don't know if it's a glitch or what, but I'm going to get it straightened out. So I'm probably going to say that I failed and then start over and then complete each day, adding all of my progress photos and all of that up to today. So anyway, there's that. Just want to be transparent about that. But want to give you a tip. One of the things that I've been doing is waking up in the morning and getting my reading done on the treadmill. So I'm trying to kind of integrate my responsibilities into a streamlined process. That way I leave my book on my treadmill. That way I know every time I get up, I have to read, I have to walk or jog or run, and I'll go ahead and get my reading in at the same time, right? But besides that, I wanted to talk about the fear of failure, right? And so we tend to have all of these areas of our life, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, that we are wanting to grow in, right? But the minute we acknowledge that and we're like, okay, it's time to make a change, right? Immediately we are attacked with all of these thoughts, right? It's going to require more of me. It's going to require me to eat a healthier diet. It's going to require me to abstain from alcohol. It's going to require me to be more active, to burn so many calories, to eat so many calories, to do this and do that, right? To drink more water, all of these things. And so in our head, we're like, man, that seems like a lot of work. But I want to encourage you, right? Keeping it simple is the best thing that you can do, okay? So if you just picked one thing first, you know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm going to drink a gallon of water, okay? You don't think you can drink a gallon of water? Start with half a gallon of water a day, right? Work your way up. Find those stepping stools to where the conflict becomes comfortable, right? Once you grow to the place to where you're drinking half a gallon of water consistently and easily, and it becomes easy, then you can raise the bar higher, right? So that's what you do in anything that you do. You don't have to jump headfirst into any major program or anything like that. Make the first step. If you have a personal trainer, if you have a life coach, they can help you in like connecting the dots between what your goal is and where you are right now. And it's not going to be day and night. It's not going to be like on The Biggest Loser where you have to burn 10,000 calories a day and then eat like 2,000 or less calories a day. Like, it's not going to be like that. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be a lifestyle. And so if it's going to be a lifestyle, you have to integrate it into your life in a healthy way, right? I don't want to, as much as I love this book, right? It takes time to read, okay? As much as I love cardio, I don't want to do cardio first thing in the morning. I don't want to do cardio at night before I go to bed. It takes time. It takes energy. I don't want to, lift weights all of the time, but it's productive, right? I want to grow. In order to grow, you have to face conflict head on, right? And so with the fear of failure, you're thinking about all these things like I'm going to start this program and I'm going to fail, right? Well, you cannot let quitting be an option in your life. If you continue to fail over all of these things, everything that you start, you don't follow through with, it's because quitting is still an option for you. And why is quitting still an option for you? Because you would rather be comfortable than you would successful. And everybody is afraid of something at some point in time. But fear has a very important job. What it does is it keeps us safe, right? It makes us do a risk calculation. It makes us worry a little bit and say, okay, if this happens, then this happens, right? But fear a lot of times will just bring us to a place where we feel comfortable, not necessarily safe, right? So comfort is a liar. And what it tells you is that if you have a roof over your head and food in your hand, that you are safe. The problem with that is that yes, you do not see any enemies. You know what I'm saying? You don't see any predators. You know that you have food, you can survive. You know that you have shelter, you can survive. You know that you have heat and water, you can survive. But on the inside, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, you could be dying and not know it, right? We're all, every day that we live, we step one step closer to death, right? So, with that being said, getting out of your comfort zone is uncomfortable. And you weigh the risk in your head. And the risk looks like this. If I stay here, right, on my couch, comfortable, have food, have shelter, I'm fine, my anxiety's low, I'm watching TV, cut my brain off, everything's awesome, right? On the other hand, you've got, I'm gaining weight, my finances are terrible, I'm not focused, my anxiety's high because I'm spending too much time on the phone, not resting well, not being social enough with people in person, not getting outside and getting sunlight, all of these other things. You're weighing the odds. This is easy. It's comfortable, right? It's the path of least resistance. This is the path of most resistance, and it's scary. Why? Because that fear of failure says, hey, you are going to have to do a lot in order to succeed in this area. Whereas here, you're not going to have to do a lot to succeed in being lazy, right? And being comfortable, okay? So the question is what do you value, right? Do you value your health to the place to where you're like, okay, the risk is enough to where I have to fear the consequences of not taking action more than I fear the requirements of like consistency, effort. Maybe it's waking up early in the morning or drinking that gallon of water or going to the gym 3 to 4 times a week or whatever the case is. You have to fear the consequences of doing nothing more than the consequences of being comfortable, right? More than the consequences of things just being hard, right? Or it being difficult. You are not going to fail. You will grow in the process. I wouldn't have this thought process that if you try something, it has to have an exact end date, right? To say that you've actually succeeded. You know what I mean? Your progress, all of the value is within the journey, right? Now, that's not to say that a paycheck because you've worked hard is not successful. It is. It's very successful. It is still the fruits of your labor, right? But you are in the process and in the journey showing yourself who you are, right? I have a work ethic. I have a drive. I have, the ability to steward this body that God has given me. And because I see myself as valuable, my health is valuable, my finances is valuable, all of these things that God has blessed me with, it is important that I steward it properly and glorify God with all of these areas of my life. Because if we do nothing and we just kind of glean on the comforts of the world and we enjoy the comforts of the world, then we're not really stewarding anything. We're not being an example of anything. We're just basically being consumers. Instead of servers, we're being consumers instead of pouring back out into the world and bringing the world more value. So the question is, do you want to be afraid that it's going to cost you too much time and effort to be valuable to the world, to be valuable to your family, to be valuable to your kids, to be valuable in your workplace? Or are you going to be afraid that doing nothing will bring value to nobody? So I guess that's the question. I hope it wasn't too brood. But I hope y'all have a blessed day. Just what's on my mind today. Day 10 complete, ready for tomorrow, feeling good, looking forward to, what's to come.